They know. Your doctor knows, science knows, and yet almost no one talks about it. While you learn to live with pain, limitations, and diagnoses that seem definitive, real medical advances are happening right now, silent, restricted, beyond the reach of conventional prescriptions. Not because they don't work, but because the system wasn't designed to act before the problem explodes. It was designed to react afterward. Perhaps you've already felt silent signs, those that seem too small to bother you, but insist on appearing. A strange discomfort, a gradual loss, an inexplicable tiredness. Early warning signs that the body sends, and that almost everyone learns to ignore. What if I told you that many of these bodily signals already have responses being developed? They just haven't reached you yet. The most counterintuitive thing is this. The future of medicine lies not in treating diseases, but in preventing them from becoming established, in regenerating, reversing, pausing, eliminating. But this knowledge doesn't circulate as it should. It remains restricted, fragmented, off the radar of those who most need to hear it. If you stay until the end, you'll understand why some symptoms you shouldn't ignore were never the real problem, and how learning to read the signals your body is giving you can completely change the way you view health, aging, and human limitations. Now tell me, did you like this introduction? Or would you like me to adjust something, make it more aggressive, shorter, more emotional, or delve even deeper into the hook? The tooth regeneration drug. He often says that few people pay attention to the body's signals when it comes to oral health because toothaches don't happen immediately. The problem is that silent signs appear long before the pain. Sensitivity to cold, small cracks, slight bleeding. These are early warning signs that many people normalize, when in fact they are initial symptoms of something bigger. It's no exaggeration to say that the mouth functions as a control panel for the entire body. Those who learn to observe these warning signs understand that nothing there is by chance. And it is precisely at this point that the idea of a medication capable of regenerating teeth changes everything. After all, the body has always tried to repair itself. It just lacked someone to listen to the signals your body is giving you. For years, people said that tooth enamel doesn't regenerate, and that was that. End of story. But science began to observe hidden symptoms in people who showed natural micro-regenerations after minor trauma. Small, almost invisible repairs, true silent symptoms of a forgotten potential. From then on, researchers began to stimulate dormant proteins, like waking up an old cog in the machine. He would explain this with a simple metaphor. The tooth never lost its capacity, it was just silenced. Ignoring this would be like ignoring a low alarm ringing in the back of the house. When you understand this, you realize that many symptoms you shouldn't ignore were already there, waiting for attention. In practice, he would advise something simple while these solutions are not yet on the market. Observe patterns. If a person experiences recurring sensitivity, gum recession, or changes in tooth texture, these are silent signs asking for attention. Investing in preventive exams, basic reading about oral health, and even talking to up-to-date professionals already changes the game. Accessible books on regenerative biology and longevity help train this attentive eye. Because those who learn to listen to early warning signs today will be ready tomorrow to understand why other parts of the body can also be regenerated. And then, almost without realizing it, the conversation begins to move towards something even more impressive. When the body loses movement but does not lose the ability to feel again. The paralysis reversal implant. He often explains that paralysis rarely arrives without warning, although it is almost always treated as something sudden. Before it, the body sends silent signals, recurring tingling, intermittent loss of strength, delays in muscle response. These bodily signals are often dismissed as fatigue or stress, when in fact they are early warning signs shouting in low volume. The problem is not the lack of warning, it's the lack of listening. When someone learns to respect these initial symptoms, they begin to understand that the nervous system doesn't fail overnight. It warns. It always warns. And it is almost always ignored. For a long time, it was believed that a spinal cord injury was the end of the world. But attentive researchers began to observe hidden symptoms in patients with partial paralysis. Small reflexes returning, minimal electrical responses, almost imperceptible movements. These were signs that your body is telling you that the connection wasn't lost, just interrupted. From this, implants emerged capable of translating the brain signal back to the body. He compares this to a broken wire that doesn't need to be replaced, just reconnected. Ignoring these advances would be like ignoring a traffic light flashing yellow before turning red. In real life, he advises that everyone should pay attention to their daily coordination. Frequent stumbles, difficulty holding objects, or loss of balance are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Small preventative neurological assessments, neural stimulation exercises, and even introductory reading on neuroplasticity can help train this perception. Books on the brain and human movement teach you to recognize warning signs before they become real limitations. Those who learn to listen to their nervous system early enough often avoid listening too late. And when you understand that nerves can be reactivated, the next question naturally arises. If movement can return, what else is the body capable of rebuilding on its own? Bone regeneration gel. He often says that bones break silently, but rebuild themselves quietly. Before a serious fracture, the body has already been emitting silent signals. Vague pains, loss of density, frequent cracking sounds. These are signs from the body that many people treat as signs of aging or lack of exercise, when in fact they are early warning signs. Bones don't break out of nowhere, they weaken gradually. The initial symptoms appear as subtle discomfort, almost too polite to be taken seriously. But those who learn to observe these warning signs understand that the body always gives a warning before giving way. Bone regeneration gel emerged when researchers began noticing hidden symptoms in natural healing processes. In microfractures, the bone produced temporary structures resembling a biological scaffold. These signals your body is giving you showed that reconstruction already existed. It was just too slow. The gel comes in precisely there, accelerating a process that the body was already trying to do on its own. He often jokes that it's not magic, it's respect for biological intelligence. Ignoring this would be like ignoring fertile ground and insisting on building on cracked soil. The innovation was born from listening, not from force. In practice, he would advise anyone to observe posture, impact, and recovery. Persistent pain after light exercise, excessive healing time, or recurring fractures are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Investing in bone density tests, proper nutrition, and introductory reading on tissue regeneration already changes perception. Books on human physiology and healthy aging help recognize early warning signs before the problem appears on an X-ray. Because when you understand that bones can regenerate faster than you imagined, the mind begins to accept something even more provocative. What if even diseased cells could be eliminated from the inside out? The cancer-killing virus. He often says that cancer almost never begins as a shock, but as a whisper. Before diagnosis, the body sends silent signals: unusual fatigue, unexplained weight loss, aches and pains that come and go. These are signals from the body that many people ignore, when in fact they are early warning signs demanding investigation. The problem is not a lack of information, but an excess of normalization. The initial symptoms appear too politely and therefore go unnoticed. But those who learn to observe these warning signs understand that the body doesn't create chaos without giving prior notice. The idea of a virus capable of destroying cancerous cells arose precisely from the observation of hidden symptoms in patients who improved after specific viral infections. Something curious was happening. While the virus attacked, tumors shrank. These were signs that your body is telling you that the immune system knows how to fight. It just needs the right stimulus. The virus doesn't act as an indiscriminate poison, but as an intelligent messenger, teaching the body to recognize the enemy. Ignoring this kind of advancement would be like ignoring a survival manual written by the organism itself. Science has simply translated the message. In practical terms, he advises paying close attention to persistent changes. If a strange symptom lasts for weeks, reappears without explanation, or is added to others, these are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Making a habit of preventative checkups, recording changes in your body, and seeking reliable sources of information already changes the game. Accessible readings on immunology and prevention help identify silent signs before they become something bigger. Because when you understand that the body itself can learn to eliminate disease cells, an inevitable question arises. What if parts of other living beings could help save human lives? Pig parts that could save your life. He often says that the human body is proud but not prejudiced when it comes to survival. Before organ failure, silent signs appear. Extreme fatigue, skin changes, persistent swelling. These bodily signals are often treated as something temporary, when in fact they are early warning signs that something internal is not coping. The initial symptoms are rarely dramatic, and that's precisely why they are deceiving. Those who learn to observe these warning signs understand that the body is asking for help before collapsing. The idea of using pig organs or tissues arose from observing hidden symptoms in transplants and biological tests. Pig hearts, valves, and even skin showed surprising compatibility. These were signs that your body is telling you that survival doesn't care about genetic vanity. The immune system doesn't ask about origin. It evaluates function. Ignoring this would be like ignoring a buoy in the middle of the sea just because it wasn't custom made. Science simply accepted something the body already knew. Living is a priority. In daily life, he would advise paying special attention to signs of organ failure. Shortness of breath, fluid retention, and mild mental confusion are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Getting into the habit of keeping up with basic checkups and understanding simple markers of kidney and heart function already changes your perception. Introductory books on physiology and transplants help you recognize silent signs before an emergency arrives. And when you understand that even parts of other beings can sustain human life, your mind begins to open to something even more extreme. What if it were possible to pause the body to buy time and save it? Suspended animation for trauma. He often says that trauma doesn't kill immediately. It's time running against the body that kills. Before collapse, silent signs appear. A sudden drop in blood pressure, mental confusion, cold skin, irregular breathing. These bodily signals are early warning signs that the body is entering emergency mode. The initial symptoms don't scream, they whisper, and therefore require trained attention. Those who learn to read these warning signs understand that, in extreme situations, every second weighs a ton. Don't ignore your biological clock when it asks for a pause. Suspended animation for trauma was born from observing hidden symptoms in animals that survived lethal conditions by drastically reducing their metabolism. The body switches off the superfluous to protect the essential. These were signs that your body is telling you that slowing down can save you. By cooling the body and decreasing cellular activity, you gain time to repair the damage. He explains how to put the body in airplane mode. Less consumption, less loss, more chance. Ignoring this strategy would be like not ignoring an emergency brake on a steep descent. It's ugly, but it saves lives. In everyday life, he would advise learning to recognize physiological limits. Persistent dizziness after impact, unavoidable confusion, extreme paleness are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. In high-risk environments, basic first aid knowledge and introductory reading on shock and trauma make a real difference. Training the perception of silent signals prepares the mind to act calmly when everything demands urgency. And when you understand that slowing down the body can save lives, the inevitable question arises: if pausing helps with trauma, what happens when the problem is cells that refuse to die? Senolytics, the zombie cell killers. He often explains that aging isn't the problem is accumulating cells that should have already gone. Before this turns into disease, the body emits silent signals: recurring inflammation, persistent pain, slow recovery. These bodily signals are early warning signs that something too old is taking up space. Initial symptoms appear as chronic fatigue or morning stiffness, things that many people normalize. But those who learn to listen to these warning signs realize that the body isn't tired of living, it's tired of carrying dead weight. Don't ignore it when your body asks for internal cleansing. So-called zombie cells were identified by observing hidden symptoms in aged tissues. They don't function properly, but they also don't die, and they even hinder their neighbors. These were signs that your body is telling you that the problem isn't a lack of energy, but an excess of waste. Senolytics emerge as a kind of selective cleaning, helping the body remove what has already served its purpose. He compares this to a house full of broken furniture. It's no use painting the walls if you don't remove what's obstructing circulation. Ignoring this would be like ignoring a maintenance alarm that goes off every day. In practice, he advises observing patterns of inflammation and recovery. If small efforts generate disproportionate pain, or if fatigue doesn't go away, these are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Simple habits like regulated sleep, an anti-inflammatory diet, and strength training help the body better signal its limits. Introductory readings on longevity and the biology of aging train the eye to notice these silent signs before they become chronic diseases. And when you understand that eliminating dysfunctional cells can restore vitality, the mind naturally moves on to another provocative question. What if lost senses could also be restored? The hearing restoration gene therapy. He often says that hearing rarely disappears suddenly. It fades in overly polite stages. Before the silence, silent signs appear. Difficulty in noisy environments, the need to increase the volume, persistent ringing in the ears. These bodily signals are early warning signs that many people attribute to age or stress. The initial symptoms appear as small lapses in perception, almost imperceptible in daily life. But those who learn to observe these warning signs understand that the ear doesn't fail, it warns. Don't ignore it when sounds begin to fade at the edges. Gene therapy to restore hearing was born from the observation of hidden symptoms in sensory cells that appeared dead but still responded to minimal stimuli. These were signs that your body was telling you that the ability to hear hadn't been lost, just switched off. By reactivating specific genes, researchers were able to get these cells working again. He explains it as if it were updating old software that was still installed. It just needed the right command. Ignoring this would be like ignoring a malfunctioning radio and insisting it's broken. Sometimes the fix is simpler than it seems. In everyday life, he would advise paying attention to gradual changes in sound perception. Frequent ringing in the ears, confusion between words, or auditory fatigue are symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Creating the habit of taking breaks from sound, protecting yourself from excessive noise, and having regular hearing assessments can make all the difference. Introductory readings on sensory neuroscience help you recognize silent signs before silence sets in completely. And when you understand that even seemingly lost senses can be restored, it becomes difficult not to rethink everything we believe to be definitive about the human body. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you has awakened. It wasn't empty curiosity, it was recognition. Throughout this video, you realize that many of the limits you were taught to accept aren't final. That several silent signals, those that seemed too small to deserve attention, were actually invitations. Invitations to observe more closely, to not ignore what your body has been telling you for a long time. This kind of knowledge isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to liberate you. It's meant to transform initial symptoms into conscious decisions. Now, the question that remains is simple and uncomfortable. What are you going to do with it? Will you continue to treat warning signs as coincidence, or will you start listening to the signals your body is giving you before they scream? Because those who learn to read their bodies early rarely have to deal with consequences too late. If this video gave you something you don't usually hear, then stick with me. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next videos will delve even deeper into this type of knowledge. The kind that changes how you see health, time, and human limitations. Here, the idea is simple: to teach you to recognize the symptoms you shouldn't ignore before they decide for you. Now tell me, did you like this conclusion, or would you like me to adjust something? Make it shorter, more provocative, or even more emotional?